Hey, everyone, welcome to Stepfans and Chill. It's the morning show with a late night feel. Ugh. A lot of times, some things are just good. Some things stick, and that's really good. And when something sticks that good, you should just appreciate it yourself. I say all that to say, those of you that fall in love with these new lifestyles, great. Congratulations. But you know what I hate? I hate when you try to convert us. You can enjoy it alone. Just because you learn the new dance step don't mean you got to have me going and feeling bad for not attending with you. Why do people do that? Why is it as soon as someone learns something new, they've been doing it for 3 weeks, they just started eating, carbs only. Like, hey man, you need to hop in on this. See, what's wrong with your life is you're not eating carbs daily. And then they start hitting you with the hardcore preach. I had a homie get divorced and he's like, man, Mike, you need to come over here. This is where the fun's at. I'm like, what are you talking about? People are very strong-willed when they learn something. And they just want to draw you in, and I get it. I get that things can be exciting. Most everything is exciting in the beginning. It's very, But you know what happens too? It fades off eventually, and you move on. So when you bring someone in, think about it for just a moment. You brought them in, and then you're over it. And now you just left them there, all right? You just left them in there being a rock climber. You think rock climbing is fun alone? I don't know. It depends on how much you're in the thrill. But I'm trying to get to you. Those of you who are just immediately allow yourself to enjoy it before you just start pulling everyone in. So, I've had a decent week. Life has been, ups and downs-ish. I've been to some places, I've been moving around quite a bit, which is healthy for my lifestyle. And I've been taking some new vitamins, right? And I thought they were like a multi, just something to give me some natural something. But they had an extra boost of testosterone in them. And I'm like, why have I been feeling mad aggressive lately? I don't know, wanting to fight. I don't know, wanting to shoot more 3-pointers. I just been a little bit more diving into conversations. And then, I don't know what happened. I was sitting down, I was watching Love is Blind, and then I had the little bottle in front of me, and I started reading the thing, and the milligrams of the testosterone on there was high. And I was like, oh, but you know what? I like it. Oh man, y'all should do it. Y'all should get into this. Look, I just started doing it. You should start taking extra testosterone. Your life will be different. You should start right now. You see what just happened? Do you see what just happened? That's what I'm trying to tell you not to do. Stop pulling people in. Just enjoy it yourselves. I want to thank everyone for tuning in. Thank you for showing up to Stepfans and Chill. If you're not already a Step fan, hey, find me. Go to bigassteeth.com. Go to the social media. Everything Mike E. Winfield. Go there and leave your messages and ads and all of that and be a part of this movement. It's happening in real time as we speak. And why not? Why not come and change your life and do something very positive that can only open your mind? Isn't that what we all want? We want to open our mind. We want to do new things and feel great. Those of you writing in letters, it is about that time. Because you know what? We are at that point where I get to read some of the letters that you guys write in. And who better than me to help with relationships, because one thing I've done is I've struggled. Yes, I've not gotten it. Sometimes you gotta, figure it out several times. You have to fail a lot sometimes to get it. That's why I advise ladies, listen, if you want to get there a little bit sooner, consider dating a guy a little bit older. Unless you want to be with that. There's women that I went out with and they appreciated me being young because then they could be right most of the time. I didn't understand, and they felt joy in being able to be right. And then once I mastered it, once I got my skill up after time, I wasn't really, a benefit for them. It wasn't fun anymore. And that sucks. Men, I think you should all go out with older women. You're going to learn everything you need, and you take them for a ride as long as you want, and then dump them off on the side of the highway and find your real relationship. That was random, but it's all about experience. All right. Our first story. Oh my. Oh. All right. A woman writer says, I am devastated. I don't even know where I got the strength to write this, but I have no one to talk to. Man, I don't know how you decided to send that here, but I'm here for you. I'm ashamed and beyond disgusted with this whole situation. She says she's 34. Her husband is 36. She says, my husband and I have been married for 5 years, and we have a good sex life, and we don't argue at all. That is a problem. Everyone needs to argue, all right? It doesn't have to be vicious, but if you agree on everything, what's healthy about that? He's good to me. Well, great. I'm happy for you. So I would never have imagined myself in this situation. What is the situation? Tell us. This is great. I'm intrigued. I went grocery shopping alone because he doesn't like to go to the supermarket with me. I hope that's not the problem. And if I'm being completely honest, there's a lot of women that I did not want to go to the grocery store with as well because, man, some of y'all be in there forever reading the back of every single item and just walking around with no type of system. Like, I got a system. I start at the first aisle. It's normally the produce, and I work my way down all the way to the non-foods. And then by the time I get there, I'm done. Might get a smoothie on the way out. But those of you that don't have a system, just going every aisle, going from aisle 8 to 12, back to 6, then to 14, like, that's just disrespectful. That's just rude. That's just like not being, respectful of someone's time. All this back and forth and reading all the back. Why didn't you read the back of the items you was going to buy before you got to the grocery store? Why'd you wait till you got there? Is that what this is about? I went to the grocery store alone because he doesn't like to go to the supermarket with me. He says it stresses him out. I get it. And I don't really mind going alone, but it was quick and I came back home. I don't know how he didn't hear me coming in. Since I yelled, I was back. But with no response, I went upstairs to check on him. And that was when I caught him touching himself while looking at a picture of my twin sister. What? He jerked off to her twin? Now, this is already very interestingly weird. This is a clear example. Listen, without reading the rest, this is all, he must not like your personality. He clearly could have used your own face, but he used your sister's because, this is heartbreaking. This is heartbreaking. But to jerk off to a twin, what kind of sick fantasy is that? Like, doing that to anyone that just has a non-twin sister is like, okay, that's almost imaginable. But to do this to your twin, she says, I froze. He stopped touching himself and threw his phone under the bed, but I saw everything. So he was like, wicked. He threw it under the bed. Nobody wants to get caught like that. So, I feel like throwing up, not only because I see it as cheating, but because he chose to do it while looking at my sister. We are identical twins, not even fraternal. Identical twins? The only difference is our hair color. Maybe you need to go back to blonde. This is not funny. This is not funny at all. So it doesn't make sense to me. It's like looking at a picture of myself. Why didn't he just do it? Oh, this is a tough question. Why didn't he just do it with me or looking at me? That's heartbreaking. That's very heartbreaking to just, though, people got sick minds. People, I don't even want to really call it sick. It's just like people are who they are, sexual. And you're not necessarily going to know this about many of the people that you confront every day. Your therapist that you need to go talk to got some weird stuff too. It is what it is. Who you think is so pure, these people, everyone has someone or something going on. And I feel like the object of the game is to not get caught. I don't know. He was out of pocket. He shouldn't have been doing this in the house. He needs to do this when he's out of town. He needs to figure out, because you really don't even need like porn to jerk off. You don't need it. He could have used his own brain. He could have just thought the thoughts in his mind. That just expedites it. But to pick your identical twin sister with different hair, oh man, this dude, that's been on his mind. That's been a fantasy that he's just been sitting on. You went to buy the grapes and he pulled out the banana and went to work. Yo, that's very unfortunate. He had already shared some thoughts involving her, asking if any past boyfriend of mine asked to have sex with the two of us at the same time, and I said no. This guy, explaining then how it would have disgusted me since, she is my sister. He's not wise. And that's why I tell every man, you need to meet a grandfather. Speak to your elders. They would advise you to not do this. Now, don't get me wrong. There are a lot of sisters that get down, but asking is never the approach. If she was ever going to do that, it wasn't going to be because you were like, hey, you and your sister, I know we've been married. It's never going to happen. So he's just wrong. That's so sad. This is really tough. And this is her sister. And this is forever. She can't wipe this thought away. You can't move on. She says not to judge anyone, but to find yourself having a sexual relationship with your sibling involved doesn't sound a little bit strange? No. Stop judging people. Everybody is, I don't know, even if it's the most minor thing. Maybe it's something that you might consider minor. It's like people are human. Like maybe it is strange. I don't know. That question back then should have alarmed me more, but what else could I expect? She says, I left him alone and I am now trying to calm myself before going back there. He tried to talk to me, and I was unable to listen to his excuses. I won't tell this to my sister. You won't, but you're going to live with this forever. And my heart goes out to you. And I just think that to move on from this is impossible. You're going to view your sister a certain way, but it's not her fault. Or maybe it is. Is she a little more provocative during the holidays? Is she walking around with her boobs out? And it's just, I don't know what's going on. Does she have a great personality? I know this hurts. And thank you for writing. And I'm deep down sorry you have to deal with this, because how would I feel? How would I feel if some girl was like, hey, I want to smash your brother? I don't know. I guess I'd be hurt. Yeah. Right? Right? All right. Oh, one more story for today. Look at this. Let's see. Okay, this is a guy. He says, I've been together with my girlfriend now for 8 months. If you want to call that a girlfriend. We met working together at a coffee shop where I was covering weekend shifts for about a month or so. Will you get to it? This is boring unless this has to do with it. She works part-time and she's also a student. And I've been looking for more work at the time and ended up moving to a different location. We hit it off after the first few times working together and started going out towards the end of the time I was working there. Well, isn't that sweet? Can you get to it? Since then, our relationship has been really good. We've both improved each other's lives by caring for one another. We never lack things to talk about, and we get along very well. Oh, it's coming. I feel this coming. All in all, I'm happy with the relationship I'm in and want to continue. But now I'm dealing with some negative feelings. The other day, here it comes. Here it comes. This is what we're tuning in for right now. Here comes the T. EA. The other day, she called me in tears, telling me how she had something to tell me. And she said that before the two of us had met, you guys want to guess what it is? Before the two of us had met, what? What is it? Let's just find out together. She had slept with her manager, a guy we both know from having worked there. She told me that she felt I should know because she didn't want there to be secrets between us, and that she felt guilty not informing me earlier before we got more serious. It took her 8 months to share this secret. Do you think you can ever trust her? Why is she telling you now, after 8 months? Let's wise up. Why do you think she's telling you right now? You think she just decided to get this off her chest? Do you really think that's what happened after 8 months? No. Now, for one, she's been sitting on a lie for that long, but that's not the worst part of this. Something happened recently. Yes, and he's the manager. He smashed. He just banged your girlfriend, and now she's feeling very emotional about it. And she told him, I'm never going to do this again. We can't do this anymore. And when you're the manager and you banging the girl at the coffee shop, listen, man, move on. Oh, there's more? He says it didn't really affect me that much at the time when she told me. I think she felt pretty bad about the whole thing. So after 8 months, she just out of nowhere feels really bad. I'm right. She says, I think she felt pretty bad about the whole thing having happened in the first place, since she has shown animosity towards her manager to me in the past. That was his feelings. But I wasn't feeling weird or put off by it in the moment, just kind of surprised. She came over later that night, an absolute mess. And we had a good time together before going to sleep. So she came over just frustrated. Yeah, it had just happened. Maybe not that night, but recently. Now that it's been a few days, I can definitely tell that it's bothering me, and I'm getting uncomfortable about her working together with someone she slept with, who is also her boss. Hey man, listen, I need to read no more. That relationship is gonna go on forever, for as long as she stays working there. So either she goes and works somewhere else and you keep the relationship, or you just know that your girl's getting banged by the manager at the coffee shop. It's what it is. Accept it. Yeah. Sorry you got to deal with this, man. And life is like that sometimes. You know? I had some stuff like that happen. You ever be in a relationship with someone, they just pissed off all the time, and then out of nowhere, they're just all of a sudden happy, and they got all this joy, and they're like sweet? Someone's banging them. And when that happened to me, and somebody was banging who I think they was banging my lady, right? I was like, man, I've never seen her this nice. I don't want it to stop. If I'm going to get this level of kindness, let what's ever happening keep happening. It's all about joy in the end and happiness. Take that for what y'all want to take it as, you know. All right. Oh, you guys, this just in. Brand new story. You guys, it is official. Documented official, hot off the press news. Going through someone's phone or device is a federal crime. Wow. That means if somebody snoops your phone, you can have them sent to prison. The question is, how do you prove it? Because now you got to set up a camera to catch them in the act, which is also illegal. So I don't really know how to get them. But wow. And finally, yeah, you should go to jail searching people's phone and getting their private thoughts and then going to their search histories. That's wrong. That's an invasion of privacy, and it should be a federal offense. And it always happens the same way. Even though men are searching phones now, women do it the same way. Like, I didn't intend to go through it. It was just laying there. It's always just laying there. And then you find whatever you went to find. Remember that one story that time? She went all the way back to last September. Remember that? It should be a federal crime. But here's what love is. What do you guys think about that? Do you think, you should have a phones unlocked open policy in a healthy relationship? I don't. I think you can have a very healthy relationship, each having your own privacy. What's wrong with that? Why I gotta share everything? Why she gotta share everything with me? Why can't we just know enough for us to be happy together? What's wrong with that? All right, you guys, we coming to one of my favorite segments. Ah, man, this is one of my favorite segments, you guys. You know what time it is. You know what segment this is. Animals be tripping. Because they do. And today, I'm ready to dive into something very special. You know, animals, man, they just beautiful. They just like live in the world. But they be on the BS. They be doing the dumb stuff. You know who really on that dumb stuff? Ducks. Yeah, ducks. Yeah. Who knew? They look all sweet and kind. You think they all wholesome? I used to think this too. If I was going to be in the bird category, I like the idea of being a duck because you can only fly so far. So it's like having the superpower of flying, but only like for a little. Like if I need to get on a roof or something, somebody chasing me and I'm like, wak, wak, wak. They can't get me. You will always feel safe knowing you had that, until they start shooting at you and stuff, And we've been exposed to ducks in only positive ways, like Donald and Daffy and Howard, if you watch that, or Darkwing Duck. Remember, man, that fool was crazy. Scrooge. Scrooge had all that bread. Uncle Scrooge, man, he was swimming in money, All we've had is positive exposure to ducks. But nobody's really told you what's really happening with these ducks, all right? First of all, I don't know if you're aware of duck anatomy. I don't even know. You should just turn it off right now if you don't want to hear about duck anatomy. But their penises are shaped like corkscrews. I don't make nothing up. So when they are screwing you, they are screwing you. They are dialing it in. And then they make them wild noises. So while they giving it, they just like, nah, nah. That's what you're hearing if you live next to a pond. You hearing ducks going hard. Just boom, boom, screwing. They are stored in the sacs under their bodies. But when a duck penis is erect, it can become up to 20 centimeters long. Over 8 inches of duck dong. What? That means they could screw almost through another duck and come out the back of their esophagus, out their mouth. That's love. That's another level of loving. And duck sex, man, it's, I don't know if it's pleasurable. I don't even know how they I don't even know why they even go through with this. Because ducks are just like dolphins, man. They take it. They don't just have a cool conversation. It's like, hey, I've been watching you on the other side of the pond and, your feathers is banging, No. They swim in swarms and they find a lonely duck and they trap the duck and they give it. They give it to the duck. And I don't know gender-wise how it's happening. I don't know if this is let me see, I don't know. Nope. It's exactly what you think. Yep. Also, these ducks, for no reason, they kill us. It's so much duck on duck murder. They out here just eliminating each other for no real reason except, their duck brains can't really conceive that there is enough bread for everyone. There's enough out there, but they're just out there just taking it. Duck season gets the most brutal during mating season. And that's when they go out and they're like, hey man, I'm trying to use this corkscrew. I got to eliminate the competition by any means. And that's how they take them out. By just, could you even imagine a duck murder? What they do? This is how they say they do it. They use their duck feathers, arms-ish, and they drown them. How brutal is that? They are murdering ducks by drowning them. These ducks that you think are so cute, no, they're vicious beasts. Another duck fact. Ducks are very paranoid. They have been known to sleep with one eye open. Yeah. That's why that's why they so crazy. These fools is out here sleeping with one eye open. They not getting their proper rest. They not sure what's going to happen. You always got humans doing dumb stuff, and now they watching out for each other, and they literally are like this the whole night. You don't get good sleep if you got one eye open. Like, that's just obvious, right? Right. All right, I got to read this one because this one's so good. Ducks do a thing called grand passage. Grand passage occurs when an entire population of ducks just start wilding out. Usually happens after weird weather patterns occur. Sometimes a massive cold front will cause millions of ducks to migrate at once. And this phenomenon happens from time to time, but it's jarring and frightening to people on the ground and underneath this gigantic cloud of ducks. Like out of nowhere, they just go wild. They just ducks going wild. You know, some of them pooping in the air and they don't fly that high. So this grand passage is happening. So if you ever see that happening, that is what the title of it is. So just be aware. And you know, they're not necessarily going to harm you as a human. Like, they might chase you, you know, but they're not necessarily going to be able to, they're not strong enough to pin you down and drown you. Hopefully they're not. But with the evolution of ducks, you just never know with this world. Global warming is real. And ducks are evolving. And you need to understand that. You guys, as always, thank you for tuning in to Stepfans and Chill. You never know what the next day is going to bring you, so be grateful for now. Love each other. Thank you for sending in your letters. Thank you for writing in your relationships. If you want me to mention your name, I will. I like to give a shout out to all the shares, all the comments, and hey, as always, hey man, we appreciate you.